Hey guys, Lorenzo from Pisces Projects here, and today is a very special video for me today because I'm going to be showing you how I harvest all of my summer vegetables that I've been growing from seed. Here in Central Oregon, it's a very short growing season that stems from, I would say, about early May to about early October time. Anytime before and after that, things tend to freeze really badly, so I'm really proud of myself that I've kept all of these alive, and I can't wait to show you everything that I've been growing this season. So, let's get started. So this is the actual vegetable garden here. It stems from here and ends all the way in the back right there. So as you can see, I have quite a bit of stuff here, including an herb garden that I planted in some chicken feeders earlier this year. And of course, some flowers there that have just been kind of dying out because it is kind of later in the season, but I'm going to be showing you what exactly I have in this garden. So my partner and I had this idea to plant all of our vegetables and fruits that we grow in these galvanized metal raised beds, just because wood tends to rot really easily and we don't want to replace them every single year. So we just find that this is the most utilitarian and the most useful. But starting us off are these gorgeous onions that I've been growing. So they look like they're about ready. So I think I might just pull a couple out just to kind of show you in the video. But I also have some carrots here. And before we actually start, these are all organic non-GMO seeds that I got from the garden center. But yeah, these are some really gorgeous carrots here that I'm going to pull out and see what they look like. I've been growing some strawberries here that have been doing okay. I think what's going on is that all of these birds are kind of pecking at them while we're not home, so that's not good. I have to figure out a way to get rid of those birds. Next up is going to be these spicy hot peppers that I've been growing. There are all kinds of peppers here, so as you can see right there, that looks like a serrano, while this one kind of looks more like a jalapeno looking guy. We'll see how they taste though. They look really scrumptious. I've also been growing some green bell peppers, so non-spicy bell peppers. So this half is spicy, this half is regular non-spicy peppers. And if you come over here, you're going to witness the most prolific, I think, vegetable that I've been growing this year. As you can see, they are some beautiful summer squash that I've been growing, and what happens is that they bloom these little pretty orange flowers, and then at the end of them, once they're done blooming, you get these really gorgeous fruits here. So that's really cool. I love that. And if you come over here, I have some cucumber here that's been growing really well. And actually, I have an eggplant that I actually did not grow from seed. This I got from Home Depot, I believe. So I kind of cheated there, but look how amazing it's doing. And these cucumbers are a really good size. I have about 3 or 4 of them that we're going to be taking out today. Super excited about that. And these cantaloupe are not quite ready, so we're not going to be taking these guys out of the ground yet. But I have 2 of them, and they're looking really beautiful. Probably the most growth that I've gotten from a vegetable is going to be right over here, and that's going to be the tomatoes. So I have tons and tons of beefsteak tomatoes. I have about 5 huge gallon-sized tubs here. I have 1 tomato that's ready right now that I'm going to be showing you and taking that out for you. But the rest are kind of just getting started. They're really small, green, and not ripe yet. And over here, since we had so many tomatoes this year, I think next year I just have to relax it with the tomato because these get so huge. As you can see, they're insane. This one just started turning color, so that one's going to be ready here soon. But these just get massive, and they're way taller than me now. Once again, in a galvanized tub. Oh, we have a little visitor. Do you want to say hi, Bandit? To say hi. So really quickly, I wanted to kind of make a point about tomatoes. So there's 2 different types of tomatoes. One of them is indeterminate and the other one is determinate, meaning that one variety does need to be cut back and the other you need to leave alone. So indeterminate is what I have here, and that's why they're so big, is because I did not cut them back. If I would have cut them back, I would have lost probably 80% of the vegetables that it produced. Now, determinate means that they're going to have a select, like a specific number that they're going to produce. So you have to cut them back like early to mid-spring. But this one I did not cut back because if I would have lost all of the vegetables. So that would have been bad. I just wanted to make that quick note. Also, just very quickly, I wanted to show you my herb garden because I'm very proud of it as well. So I'm growing some basil here that I grew from seed. That's actually doing really well. You know, besides, you know, the discoloration, I think it's doing really, really, really well. It's actually started to bloom too, and basil you can use in like pizza sauce and all that Italian herb stuff, so it's so good for that. I also have some rosemary here that I bought from the store. Some, I believe this is oregano, yeah, so some oregano here. I have some thyme, cilantro that started to bloom that I didn't cut back, and I should probably cut back and use here very soon. I have a spearmint right there, and some parsley that I grew from seed as well. That's looking really, really well. And some English lavender with more mint. All right, guys, so I am done for today. So this is technically the end of summer harvest. I have a lot of stuff that still isn't ready, including some of the carrots and the onions and the bell peppers, and a lot of the tomatoes aren't ready, but I did get all of the summer squash. This is crazy. This yield is amazing. We have some cucumbers, one tomato only, but there's more to come. I have tons of these little chili peppers here as well. A whole bunch of carrots, look at that. I have an eggplant, I have an onion, some strawberries, and that pretty much is all of it. So I'm really proud of myself so far. Everything that I've done has really come to fruition, and I've made this happen. So I just kind of wanted to post this because I wanted to show you guys that it is not impossible to grow your own vegetables from seed. It's actually rather easy if you have enough light, water, and fertilizer. So it has been several weeks after my first initial harvesting. It is probably late October, it's almost Halloween time, and I'm barely harvesting a few of my carrots. Well, all of them actually. So these are like the nice sized ones. This one's kind of frozen because we did have a few hard frosts last night and the night before. I also have a few onions that I'm going to be pulling out as well, but I just wanted to show you that the carrots came out just fine. So these are the onions. They're not that impressive in size, but you know, any produce is good produce. So I'm happy with these as well. So I've harvested a few things. It's a couple weeks after the initial harvesting of all the cucumbers and onions and tomatoes and stuff, but I haven't been excited for those as much as I've been excited about these cantaloupes. So we're gonna just pick them really quickly. Oh, that one just came right off of the stem. Oh my gosh. So they're not huge melons, as you can see. They're like personal sized melons. Let's see if this one will just come off, because as you can see, all the foliage is pretty much rotted at this point. There it goes. So I just pulled that off there, and that'll be a nice little personal melon. So I was able to grow 2 out of, like, I had I think like 10 or something like that. I'll have to look back at the footage, but that's the 2 cantaloupe there. The cucumber for the season look like they're done for the season now. I do have a few more to pick though. So there's this nice one here, this small one here, that looks really cute, and then this weird shaped one too. And look at that, oh my gosh, I'm just seeing that one too. That's a weird cucumber. So we're gonna pull everything out and harvest it. And I also have some tomatoes on this end that I'll show you. On my initial harvesting all of my vegetables, there was like no tomatoes ready. I think I had like 1 or 2 if I look at my Instagram posts, but we have so many tomatoes. This has been such a bountiful harvest for tomatoes this season, and I have all these, I think 6 tomato plants in pots as well, in gallon-sized pots. But we're gonna harvest all of these tomatoes too. So I knew I had to harvest, you know, all of the tomatoes that were nice and ripe and red, but I could have never anticipated that it would have been this much. I mean, I knew I grew a lot of tomato plants, but they yielded just so well. I have so many in there that are even clustered in there. It's more than I know what to do with tomatoes, so I think I'll give some to the neighbors or something. We'll see. Now you can always use your snips, but sometimes you could just reach in there and honestly just pull it off like an apple. And there it is. So it is October 16th, and last night we had a frost that took all of these tomato plants. You know, it's right about that time where we start just ripping all of these off, and then just calling it good for the season. So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna rip everything out. But these have produced so well. We're gonna rip all of these tomatoes off, maybe make some tomato juice or something like that, or tomato paste, we'll see. But I'm really, really happy with what these tomatoes did for me this year. So this is most of my harvest this year. I am so happy how everything turned out, and I'm so proud of how beautiful everything looks. We have some peppers, we have every different colored tomato you can think of, from red to green. We also have some cucumber and cantaloupes. We have some bell pepper, more cucumber and squash, and an eggplant there. I hope this inspires you guys to make your own garden one day and grow your own vegetables, because it is so fulfilling and I'm so proud of myself. So that sums up today's video, you guys. I am so happy with all the yield that my vegetable garden has produced this year, and I'm so proud of myself for growing my own food. I hope this inspires you to one day create your very own vegetable garden, because it is so fulfilling. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!